In rainforests all over the world, there are countless rocks and logs that look completely normal. But the moment you flip them over, you can discover entire hidden worlds of creatures that most people never even knew existed. In this video, I am flipping 100 different rocks and objects in the Puerto Rican rainforest to see what's really hiding underneath. We're talking weird lizards, venomous spiders, rare snakes, and creatures that honestly look like they're from another planet. At the very start, I was still pretty close to the city, so the first few flips were fairly simple. The first rock just had a bunch of small insects. Still cool, but nothing too crazy. But by the time I reached object number 2, things got strange really fast. Under a piece of wood was one of the weirdest creatures in the rainforest, tailless whip scorpion. These things look like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. I've actually made entire videos about keeping these as pets, and finding one this early was a really good sign. Object number 3 revealed something that, at first, looked like a strange white worm. But this wasn't a worm at all. It was a beetle larva. Over time, this thing will completely transform and emerge as a massive rainforest beetle, possibly with a huge horn. Hopefully, I'd find the adult version later on. From this point forward, I stopped showing any empty flips, so it was just non-stop rainforest creatures. Rock number 7 was especially interesting. Underneath it was a large white object sitting in a hole. After carefully moving some dirt, I realized this was a wolf spider's egg sac. Inside were hundreds of baby spiders just waiting to hatch. The mother spider refused to leave the egg sac, so I carefully put everything back exactly how I found it. A little later, one of the objects I flipped literally crumbled in my hands. That's when I noticed thousands of tiny white insects crawling absolutely everywhere. These were termites. They live entirely inside dead wood, slowly eating it from the inside out until there's nothing left. Then, under object number 10, I found the coolest thing so far. A tiny tail was sticking out from beneath a piece of bark. At first I thought it was a worm, but the scales gave it away. After peeling back the bark, I revealed a Brominy blind snake, the smallest snake species in the world. These snakes spend their entire lives underground and are all female. They reproduce by cloning themselves, which means every single one of these snakes has identical genes. It's honestly mind-blowing. Soon after, I reached a small rainforest stream. I dropped my GoPro into the water, and at first, everything was cloudy. Then fish started appearing out of nowhere. I followed the river to a clearer section and put the camera back in. These turned out to be mountain mullets fish that are born in the ocean, swim up rivers into the rainforest, and later return to the ocean to reproduce. Right next to them were aquatic snails that help keep the entire ecosystem clean. Back on land, I noticed a lizard sitting on top of a rock. When it ran off, I assumed the rock might be its home. I placed a few superworms underneath, and almost instantly the lizard came back and started eating them. "You're welcome, buddy." Not long after, I spotted another lizard sprinting across some rocks. When I got a closer look, I realized it was a green anoles with something large sticking out of its mouth. It was eating another lizard. These guys are cannibalistic predators, and they absolutely do not mess around. Later, I found my first ant colonies of the trip. These were big-headed ants. Some of the workers had heads 3 times larger than the others. Those larger ants help carry heavy objects and protect the colony. I quickly put their rocks back so they could continue their important work. As I moved deeper into the rainforest, the animals just got even better. One flip revealed a real snake, but it disappeared into the bushes before I could get a clear look. I even tried using a snake hook to find it, but the hook actually snapped in half. Still, that meant snakes were definitely around here. Another object revealed a strange, fuzzy, worm-like creature that I couldn't identify. Nearby were Isopods Nature's very own cleanup crew. These little guys eat dead material and keep the rainforest floors healthy and clean. Near a fence, I flipped a brick and uncovered a massive rhinoceros beetle. This was a female, which explained why it didn't have a horn. Under other bricks were centipedes and slugs, including one that I filmed in a time-lapse as it slowly moved across the ground. One rock revealed a perfectly camouflaged cave cricket. These insects move so fast it looks like they're teleporting. Another flip revealed what appeared to be a worm egg sac. I honestly never really thought about worms hatching from eggs, but here we are. On a paved road, I found a snake that had unfortunately been hit by a car. While it was sad to see, it did confirm that large reptiles lived nearby. Back on the trail, I almost missed a massive Puerto Rican tarantula sitting directly on the rock I was about to flip. These tarantulas are extremely rare to find out in the open like this. When I tried offering it some food, it got defensive and retreated into its burrow, so I decided to leave it alone. As the day went on, the finds started to slow down a bit. I even came across random things like a moldy fruit and an unidentified bone that may have belonged to a wild pig. Under object number 92, I found a millipede and a rove beetle. Rove beetles have spiked backs that scare off predators and hidden wings that let them fly away almost instantly. Near the end of the trail, under object 96, I found another tarantula, Puerto Rican pink-toe tarantula. This one was even larger than the first. I used a GoPro on a stick to get some close-up footage without disturbing it too much. Finally, it was time for object number 100. I found a piece of metal trash on the ground and decided to check inside with a flashlight, and that's when I saw them. 2 Puerto Rican bark scorpions hiding inside. These scorpions have painful stings, and when I switched my flashlight to UV mode, they started glowing bright blue. Scorpions glow under ultraviolet light, and it was the perfect way to end the video. 100 rock flips. Rainforest complete. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more adventures.